Hey everybody, welcome back to Women Carry Knives. On the table in front of me today, just kind of sitting there, all cockeyed, we are going to be taking a look at the Civivi Exarch. This is a fabulous little knife. Let me start by saying thank you to the Pass Around group. I have the opportunity to review this knife because of the Pass Around group. And this one, if it does look familiar, is actually based on the Chronic. Now, the Chronic is a flipper. However, the Exarch here is a front flipper. So, and some of you, this is a little bit long for me, so I can flip it out slowly, but I actually finger flick this one. So, backwards. Okay, on this one, in this, first of all, gorgeous, gorgeous blue. I love this color. It is just beautiful. We'll get a little closer in there. This is a D2 drop point blade. It's got this gorgeous hollow grind that we're so familiar with Civivi and we. And you have a beautiful satin finish on that. And hopefully, it's probably a little bit bright. If we can get that in there. Your handles are going to be G10. And I believe this comes in a couple different colors. However, I didn't write it down. I believe it's blue G10, black G10, and a carbon fiber. It is a liner lock. This thing is a super, super smooth flipper. Now you saw that, you know, again, because it's a little bit longer, I do have a little bit harder of a time because of where the flipper is placed on this one. So I tend to flick it that way, which works better for me. Like I said, it is a liner lock. It does run on caged ceramic ball bearings, which makes this knife just so incredibly smooth, and I do love that. This is a fun one. I love them sleek and stabby like this. I love them long. This is a really good size for me for smaller hands. You know, a larger hand could probably get in this really good. Yeah, you know, I would call this, I wouldn't really call this a small knife, but I wouldn't really call it a large or a medium knife. It's kind of really in the middle for me. It is a tip up left and right hand carry. So my lefty friends out there, woo woo. And you have a great true deep pocket clip on this. I love that. You also do have a space for your lanyard here for those of you that do like lanyards, if you can see that. You've got a little lanyard loop on there. Some of the dimensions on this one, we are looking at a blade length of about 3 1/4 inches with, just about 3 1/4 inches, with a handle length of just over 4 inches. I mean, just a hair. You know, if you didn't have that lanyard loop on there, it would be probably right at 4, which is a really good size. Overall, you're looking at 7.33 inches. Just over 7 1/4, and surprisingly enough, this little guy is really light. It is only 2.61 ounces, so that is really light. But I've talked before and several times about ergonomics of the handle. I do love the ergonomics of this handle because it is literally just a rectangle. Now, I know a lot of people don't like that. The reason I do is because it allows so many different hand sizes to be able to carry it, which I think is awesome. You know, there's a lot of people who really like a knife. They see a knife, they want it, but ergonomically it does not fit their hands. And the rectangular shape, even if it had a little bit of a cutout, you know, I believe that it really does allow pretty much any hand size to carry it. Now, granted, there are some people where their hands are too large for it to be, you know, to fit it at all. But this is a 4-finger for me. For my husband, it'd probably be about 3. But this thing, it feels so good in hand. The clip is a little bit high, so it is a little bit of a hot point. But it really depends on how you carry it. So if you have it more back towards your the top of the palm of your hand, you're going to feel that clip. If you're holding it a little bit more at an angle, you know, you really don't. It feels just superb in hand. I really do love it. Like I said, the bearings make it super fun. You can finger flick it that way, or you can thumb flick it. Let's see if I can do it this time. Yeah, it's a little bit long for me, but I do love my front flippers. Some of them are a little bit easier for me than others. This one is a little more difficult. Now, I haven't had it that long, so I would have to play with it for a little bit to get used to it. Overall, this is just a great, really simple design, and I love that. And like I said, it's just like the Chronic, and I really like the Chronic too, again, because it is a very, well, it's the same design, basically. Your difference being that one's a front flipper and one is not. Like I said, the feel in hand and being so lightweight, this is just a really great knife. It's super sharp. It's, you know, Civivi has a really good way of making knives very thin behind the edge, and I love that. So I did open this because it is a pass around and it is not my knife. I didn't do any, you know, major cuts with it, but I did cut up a little bit of paper, and I cut up one cardboard box, and I did open a package with it. And it's sharp. I mean, super simple. God, just super simple knife with sharp. I love the accent. I love the silver and the blue. You know, I would probably, I might even anodize the clip or get a black clip to go with it, just so it kind of matches all the way through. I do love it. If you're thinking about Civivi, this is a really good deal. Now, I don't know the price offhand. I will have to look it up, and I will put a link up to it, or I'll put a price up to it in the description area. So if you guys have any questions or comments on this knife, I recommend this one. I really do love it. But of course, you know, drop point blade is my favorite style. Being that it's smaller, it's easier for me to carry. As I said, women's pockets, a lot of the times I have to carry them not straight down. They will not fit straight down in a pocket. So I would have to carry it more of at an angle. And with the deep carries, it just makes it so much easier. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Again, this has been the Civivi Exarch. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave it down in the comments section. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you here all the time. Thank you so much for joining me. Until next time.